Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nick Bankhead and I'm an incoming dental student to the University of Utah School of Dentistry. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to get a 4.0 in college or how to get A's in your college classes. So if you're in college and you're looking to get good grades, stick around and this video will help you give you tips and tricks on how to do so. So the very first thing is when you're in school, you have your whole life outside of school. And mastering time management is very important. What do I mean by mastering time management? I mean being very intentional with your time. I'd recommend using the calendar app on your phone or any other calendar app of your choice and scheduling out blocks of time for your specific tasks. Blocks of time for your school classes, blocks of time to hang out with friends, blocks of time to study, blocks of time to watch YouTube or whatever your hobbies may be. And that way, you know specifically what you're supposed to be doing or have an idea of what you're supposed to be doing with your time. That way, you don't fall into the trap of not knowing what to be doing and then procrastinating your time, because procrastination is your enemy in college. The next thing I want to talk about is studying. Now, I know in high school you may not necessarily have had to study. Sometimes you can have talked to the teacher at the very end, a week before finals, and doing a little bit of extra credit and get an A. And college doesn't work that way. Typically in college, especially if you're taking upper division science courses, your grade is determined by your test scores and less so on participation homework assignments. So being able to study effectively and learning how to study effectively is a really good way to guarantee yourself a good grade. Now, how do you study? Well, active recall has been proven by science to be the best way to study and to remember things. A good active recall source is Anki. You can download it on your computer or you can pay to get the app on your phone. It's a flashcard service app where you can make flashcards and it uses spaced repetition to have you see those flashcards in the future. You have to make the cards or you can download decks, pre-made decks from the online. Now, it may take a while to learn how to make cards, but I promise you it's worth the time investment. This Anki works specifically well for science courses that take a lot of factual memorization of different topics and ideas. Another great method is Pomodoro. Hopefully I'm saying that right. That's where you study for a period of time, in this example 45 minutes, and then you'll take a 15-minute break following that study. And in that break time, you can do whatever you want. You could play video games, you can be on your phone, be on Instagram, do whatever you want, text a friend. And that gives your brain the ample time to reset and to come back to your next 45-minute period being rejuvenated and well rested. Now, the key here is to actually stick to your time. So if you say you're going to only take a 15-minute break, set a timer, only take a 15-minute break. I recommend setting timers for both of these. That way you know specifically when you're breaking and when you're actively working. The next thing is to go to class. If you want to get good grades, you have to show up. 80% or more of life is just showing up. And so by showing up and giving your best effort every day, that will absolutely make a big difference in your grade. And one thing I want to add with going to class is to sit in the front row of class. Now, I'm someone who will get distracted and preoccupied, or my attention will get fixated on someone eating a snack over here or playing on their phone over there. People can be distracting, so by positioning yourself in the front of the class, you're going to eliminate a majority of the distractions, as well as you'll be closer to the teacher so you can interact and talk with them more, as well as typically the students that sit at the front of the class are going to be people who are a little more focused and dedicated. That's just what I've seen in my experience. You can absolutely get an A by sitting in the back of the class, but from what I've seen, the closer you sit to the front, or if you're at the front, the better the grade you'll get. And so go to class and sit at the front of class is really important. Next, you're going to want to take notes in class. That's really important as well. You want to actively be listening and then taking notes to fill in the blanks. A lot of teachers these days will teach via PowerPoint, a PowerPoint presentation, and they'll allow you to download the PowerPoint off of like your Canvas website and then annotate directly on it using an iPad and an app like Notability. I would highly recommend doing that. For me, annotating on PowerPoint slides using my iPad is a really great way to keep all of your information in one place. So you don't have a bunch of pen and paper everywhere, so that you don't lose, you might tear a piece of paper, you might lose a notebook. Having an iPad with everything on that iPad was really helpful to me, especially for classes like physics, organic chemistry, any math classes where you're doing a lot of writing. It's really helpful. Next thing is staying ahead of your course. Now, like I said before, procrastination is your enemy here. And so staying ahead in your class is really important. Now, what do I mean by staying ahead? That means just don't get behind. You don't have to go out and learn next week's information over the weekend. Just focus on not getting behind in your classes, and that way you can keep up with the material and maybe even glance at tomorrow's lecture slides or glance at the next homework once you finish your current homework. That way you know what's coming and you can plant the seeds of knowledge that will be built upon in listening and lecture. Now, some people may have a professor, or they may have their professor may have a teaching style that is incompatible with the way they learn, whether that be a language barrier, the format of the class, whether that's online or in person. Sometimes students need extra resources, and these days we have the internet, which is an amazing extra resource to help you find additional information. So I would highly recommend watching YouTube videos on these topics. That way you can expand your knowledge base and you can get information from other resources. The next thing you want to talk about is making friends. That's super important. But making friends in your classes, you're going to be able to build a group camaraderie. You're going to be able to push each other and have people you can create study groups with. You'll have friends to hang out with outside of school. So being social is really important. And I'd also add in to the making friends part to talk with your professors. If you have questions, go to their office hours. Raise your hand in class if you have questions that are applicable to the lecture, and try and be as present as you can. Professors will typically honestly treat you better if you're kind to them and you show them respect and they know your name and you're interacting with them frequently. So something as simple as saying good morning and smiling at them goes a long way with professors. So do your best to be a good person and have some fun and make some friends along the way. This is just a quick video on how to get good grades in college. If you need any more tips and tricks, there's other amazing videos out there. I'd highly recommend checking those out. And other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day.